One of my kids recently came home with the zipper of their lunchbox broken. So it was the first time I was fiddling around with it, and I actually looked at it to see, what did it say? Now, we had bought it in some off-brand store. We took the cheapest one because, hey, it's a lunchbox. And I noticed a really strange quote on the front of it. It said, "We scare because we care." And it just made me think that's really weird. Because you care, so you're going to scare people? Then I realized it's something really true. Frequently in the name of love, in the name of care and concern, we do the most destructive things. You ever have a really, really good idea? You're excited, you're going to start, and then you pick up the phone to call somebody. And within 10 minutes, you kind of look like a deflated balloon because they cared so much. They cared so much to tell you about all the things you're going to fail and all the bumps that you're going to encounter and all the opposition. And by the time the conversation's over, you bury that good idea so deep, it's never going to come up again. And if you would ask them, why did you do that? I had such a great brainstorm. I was so focused. I was so excited. They'll tell you it's because I care about you. It's because I'm looking out for your best. It's because I'm concerned. In the name of love, it's fantastic how much we can destroy. But there's another side to this. Because some of us, despite everybody's opposition, we still take on the projects. And here comes the more difficult scare to tackle. You take on the project, you commit yourself, you don't listen to all the outside voices that tell you you're going to fail. Because as an aside, all those who told you that you're going to fail aren't going to be there to applaud at the end anyway. But they'll be there to take credit. So who cares? But once you start, there's a second and much more dangerous voice, which is the all or nothing voice. It's that little voice that buzzes in the back and says, you started a new project, you made a commitment, do it 1,000%. Because what's 2% worth? You're on a diet, you're going to cut out 2 cookies instead of 10. Do none. Just drink water. Nothing else. And what this does is, while it seems like, of course, this is a great idea, let's go from one extreme to the other really, really quickly. In essence, it sets us up for failure. There are 2.2 million adults in the United States who currently suffer from OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. It's a debilitating disorder, something that is unfortunately difficult to deal with. A subcategory of OCD is what's known as scrupulosity. Scrupulosity is specific to moral and religious dilemmas where, unfortunately, people not just suffer, but constantly doubt as to whether what they're doing is good enough. Is Hashem really happy with me? Did I really do the mitzvah right? Did I really do 1,000%, not just 10%? And it's debilitating. While it might seem like, wow, this is fantastic. We're going above and beyond. We're so committed. We're so connected. It's a disease. It's a disease because it pushes people over the edge very, very quickly. You get burnt out. You get anxious. You get depressed because nobody's perfect. Nobody. And if you think you're perfect, that already is the imperfection. But this is an interesting and dangerous scare tactic that the Yetzer Hara uses on us. He knows he's not going to get us not to do things. Of course not. Who's going to give up all our dreams, our ideology? And instead he says, you know what? Take it to the craziest lengths. You think you should wear your turtlenecks up till here? Wear it up till here. Yeah? You think you should only buy one etrog? Buy 5,000 of them. Obviously we don't do that. But in every area, and this is something very personal, where we have to be able to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, what areas is my Yetzer Hara, is that monster inside pushing me to burnout? He's pushing me. I don't know if you recall, there's a little cartoon with a mouse who tries piling up cheese. And every time he piles it up, piles 1, 2, 3, 4, and his error is he has 15 pieces. It's going to last him for the month. but there's numbers 16 and 17 on the floor. So he piles it, and every time he does it, the whole pile falls. And you look at this and you say, silly mouse, settle for 15, who needs 16 and 17? But the truth is, we do this all the time. I'm doing great. I'm so connected. I'm so committed. I'm on the path. And then suddenly we come up with this great brainstorm. So let me take everything. Let me do it all at once. Let me go from 0 to 100 in one day. And while it might work for a very brief moment, it very quickly nosedives down because nobody's perfect. Nobody can take on the world all at once. We can do it slowly. We can do it steadily. We can do it together. But we can't do it alone all at once. The Baal Shem Tov, the holy Baal Shem Tov, in the Tzavaat Harivash, the will, which actually wasn't written by him, but it's a compilation of all his thoughts, writes something that if he didn't write it, I would be afraid to say it. He says, the evil inclination, the Yetzer Hara, comes to the human being, and he says, you know those mitzvot you're doing? You know the new things you've committed yourself to? You're not doing it right. You know how many more stringencies you could take upon yourself? You know how much better you can do it? Look at the neighbors. Look at the rabbi. Look at the community. Come on. You think you're doing anything? And what might seem like really good advice, hey, let's look at everybody else and start absorbing all their stringencies. The Baal Shem Tov says this is poisonous because the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, he knows it's impossible. And eventually we're going to turn to burnout and we're going to become depressed. He says, don't fall for this. Answer him back straight in his eyes and tell him the following. You know what? You might be right. I don't keep all the stringencies. In fact, I might not even do things completely the way Hashem wanted. Forget about stringencies. We're talking about practical halakha, regular law. I'm not doing it all. But you know what? I have a little secret. Me and Hashem, we don't care about that. Because my goal is, I'm on the road. I'm on the road. I'm going to fall. I'm going to bump myself. I'm going to bruise myself. But I'm not going to get distracted. I'm not going to get distracted by perfectionists like you. Because you're making me stumble. So you're right. I'm not perfect. I'm not taking on all the stringencies. And I don't even plan on. Because my goal is to serve Hashem with joy, to serve Him with my entire heart, my entire being, b'chol me'odecha, with every facet that He's given me. And what you're doing is you're trying to make me fall. So I'm going to ask you, move away to the side so I can continue with all my flaws, with all my misguidance. Of course, I'm going to learn. I'm going to keep growing, but at my pace. At a pace that I'm growing up and not burning out and heading down. That's what you should tell your Yetzer Hara. And we have both communal, unfortunately, monsters and internal monsters. It's important for us to be able to differentiate. What does the Torah tell me? What did Hashem command me? What's halakha? What's actual Jewish law? What's minhag? What's an ancient custom that's rooted deeply in our sources? What's a more contemporary minhag? And what's what we would categorize as nonsense? Now, can you do things that are nonsensical? Sure, we do them all the time. But it's important to know which category you fall into. Because when we frequently mix all the two of them, all the four of them together, what happens is when people leave one, they leave them all. Because if I can't be perfect, why try? If I'm not going to score 100%, what's my 5% worth? And while that might be right in other areas, when it comes to service, Hashem says, Rachmana liba ba'i. Hashem wants your heart. Of course we're going to try. Of course we're aiming to do things right. But to all those who are out to scare because they care so much, tell them, I couldn't care less. Because I care more. I couldn't care less if I'm doing it imperfectly. Because I'm on the road. And part of being on the road is, I'm going to fall. I'm going to keep getting up. I'm going to fall. I'm going to keep getting up. And I'm going to remember what Rabbi Nachman of Breslov said. He said, if you believe that you have the ability to destroy, you have the ability to just mess up everything you try, he said, then believe that you can also fix. Because if you have the power to make things fall apart, it's guaranteed that you have the ability to also make things go up. So whether it's those who are going to scare you from starting, or unfortunately those both externally and internally who are scaring us from continuing because it's an all or nothing game, look them straight in the face. Look yourself straight in the mirror and say, I'm on a road. I'm on a journey. And I couldn't care less if I'm not perfect, because I care more.